Hello and welcome to the Growing Green podcast. Your host, Jeremiah Jennings, is the owner of Growing Green Landscapes in Birmingham, Alabama, and has a passion for growing the entrepreneurship community for those who are young in business. Being a business owner isn't easy, especially in the early years, and that's why in this show we dive into a wide range of topics covering all the challenges small business owners deal with. Even if your company is generating $1 million or more, the stories from our great guest and Jeremiah's own firsthand experiences will propel your business forward. And now, here's your host, Jeremiah Jennings.
What's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to another episode today here on the Growing Green podcast. This is your host, Jeremiah Jennings, and I am so excited to be coming to you for another fresh new interview. And we actually are having the honor of having another guest on today, and it means the world that we get to have guests, and just that we get to come to you each and every week, 3 times a week. It really just means the world to us, and we just love doing it. So today we're actually blessed and honored to have a former veteran on, or I guess you're not a former veteran. I guess you're always a veteran. What branch did you serve in?
Marine Corps.
Marine Corps. Okay. I was going to say former Marine, but I didn't want to just guess because I feel that's very I've seen people do that before, and veterans don't like that. So you don't want to get put in something that you didn't serve in. But anyway, we have Ryan Feudy with Frontline Lawn Services up in Rhode Island joining us this afternoon, and I appreciate you making some time and carving out for us, buddy. How are you doing today?
No, thanks for having me. Good, man. I mean, pretty light day, so it worked out fine for me. I mean, you said you had a busy day today, so I hope you didn't have to skip on anything to get in the shop there. But
oh no, man, it's just that time of year. It's crazy. You just do everything you can to just get everything done, and you're spinning a million different plates. And I literally before I walked in here to the interview, I just told my wife, I said, "There's not enough time in the day. There's literally just not enough time in the day." So, but we love it. We love what we're doing. We love what everybody else is doing, keeping up with everybody. So, well, man, tell us about your story or what you got. I like hearing just different full length stories of how you got into the industry. You did tell me that you said you were actually starting. This is going to be your full first time year, right?
Yeah, correct. This is my first full time, 100% in the business year.
That's crazy, man. Well, I tell you what, I want you to take the show away. I want you to take it and just run with it, and we'll kind of chime in if we feel like we need to. But I want you to take it and just share your story and talk to us on how you've gotten to this point.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, so yeah. Kind of all started. My grandfather, he had a landscaping business back in the day. He actually used to work for a landscaper. He started off by he was the only one being able to drive a dump truck and knew how to do it. So they paid him, I think, about $1.75 an hour, so 25 cents more. And then he was saying it's going to be temporary, and then 15 years later, he was still on the crew. But then he started doing it on the side, and then growing up, always just helping him since I was little. Going on some of the routes. He definitely had the route density thing down. We have 5 houses right down the road from him, so you never even have to pull the trailer, but he still did.
Man, that's awesome.
But, yeah, I always enjoyed doing it, just pushing the mower. I never did anything crazy when I was a kid, but my family is all full of builders and everything, so I've been around them putting in everything at our house, patios, decks, all that, the landscape. We've never really hired out, so I always thought my grandfather was the only person that ever did landscaping growing up. But, so then after that, joined the Marine Corps after high school, and then did my 4 years there. I was stationed in Hawaii, which is beautiful. But and the funny thing is there, the military, the landscaping is kind of like a punishment detail. They make you go on. People will be mowing the grass all around outside the headquarters buildings, making it look good. And there's always signs everywhere. And it's no walking on the grass. That's the main thing. It'll be pretty funny. People will be walking on the sidewalk. You cut in the grass. Someone open up a window, some sergeant major. They're like, "Hey there, devil, get off the grass." I'm like, "Whoa, all right." So it's
they take their lawn seriously.
So that's the big joke. Yeah, that's the big joke was, just people be painting signs for everybody, no stepping on the grass. But I always enjoyed it. People would be like, "Hey, I got to do landscaping. Some stupid thing, mess up on a range or something like that." And they just put you on a detail like that. And I'd be like, "I'll do it for $25. I'll take your detail for you." So I had my own little business going for myself there. I just had my buddies pay me $25. I'd go cut the grass for them. And so major like, "You're not the guy who's supposed to be here." But then when I got out, didn't really know what I was going to do. I had my real estate license. Started doing did real estate for about 4 years maybe, and then I actually joined the National Guard here in Rhode Island. I joined the Army National Guard. We have an airborne unit out here, so I thought that would be cool. Do some jumps on the weekend. Did that. Lo and behold, I did not know that in about a week and a half, COVID-19 would happen. So I think it was about a week after I actually signed the papers and all that. I got a phone call and they're like, "Hey, Sergeant Feudy, you want to? This is so and so. I think it was my CO. You want to get activated? We're gonna go state active duty for COVID." I said, "I don't have any gear. I only have some uniforms." They're like, "That's all you need," which was immediately I knew that was a lie. Being prior service, I knew whenever they say you don't need anything, you definitely need it.
Mm-hmm.
And they threw me, being a prior service guy, they threw me being in charge of one of the test sites down at the University of Rhode Island. So I was running the whole admin tent about 5 days after I got back into the military. So I was actually on orders for about a year and a half, so I didn't really have to worry about it, which kind of worked out perfectly because, doing real estate. And then once COVID hit, obviously the market and all that, people weren't buying and all that stuff like that. And that was 100% my income was real estate, other than some like side hustle stuff I do. But so it was kind of like perfect timing. Like the second that got taken away, the orders got thrown on me, and I was making pretty decent money there. And then I actually just got out in February, and so I was kind of figuring out what I really like to do. I definitely wanted to work for myself, start something up, and I already knew like, hey, I have the experience, I have the knowledge, and I also have the family knowledge of everyone in the business and everything else that I can do. So I was like, hey, if I have any questions, they're right there, And then my father, he's a mechanic. He's been a mechanic. He's not now, but he always is. So he knows how to work on all the engines, small engines, everything like that. So I was like, I have my own shop right there. Perfect,
oh, that's worth its weight in gold.
Oh yeah, exactly. Anything I ever need, he knows he'll know what to do. Look at it. It's blows my mind. So I get to pick up on that. So hopefully I get to, absorb all that knowledge. So I never have to go to anyone, never have to worry about something's down. That's the whole goal is not have to wait in line. We had one of the few dealers here was actually, I think, maybe end of February was already posted on Instagram that they're already into the 4th week of April for maintenance on mowers. So if you weren't doing it already at the end of February, you weren't getting those mowers, up and running for the spring till May, which is kind of late out here. I mean, people are already in the first week now mowing because it's been pretty warm. So we never had a freeze. Usually it freezes, but nothing really bad happened this winter. It was a really light winter. I think it only snowed 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I thought, I came up with this idea, researched it a lot, just to see the whole business model, what it takes, proper margins, all that. If it's something you could start off, solo, because everyone around here in Rhode Island is kind of like they have big rigs, they have, the F-350 with a dump body, and they have, 14-foot enclosed trailer. That's just like the standard that I see everyone has. And they have 4 guys on the lawn per house, and every time, and it's like 2 guys blowing, 2 guys edging, or it'd be like 2 guys edging, 2 guys mowing. And it's not even a big property, it's like 5,000 square feet. So it's all these big rigs running around. And I was like, well, I definitely don't want that. I can't do that. I'm starting out, So I thought, all right, well, is there any other way I can do it? And then I started researching other stuff and solo, and then, ramp rack, all that stuff like that, just get started. And I was like, I'm just going to get started. So last year, I just had a Toro Time Master, actually. It was my first mower, 32 inch there. And I bought ramps for my F-150. And then actually, made a quick logo, obviously, pretty quick. Made some door hangers. And that was the only thing I did for marketing my first year was door hangers. I walked around the neighborhood and personally put them up myself. And then the next day I got like 25, 30 calls just from that. And I was like, that's got to be wild. Because
that's crazy.
My buddies in marketing, they're like, oh, the conversion rate's like 1% for like EDM and all that stuff like that. And so I was like, well, I only put out like 250 flyers, not even. And I was getting like 20, 30 calls. So that was like, that's right there. I was like, oh, it's happening. And I was like, I think 2 days after I did that, I was doing 15 yards of mulch for the first time ever. Here we go. We're right on in it. And so I kind of thought to myself, just get the ball rolling and figure out what's good and what I like to do my first season in, what I don't want to offer for the next season, stuff like that. So I kind of was like if someone offered and I thought I can do a good job on it, I'd price it accordingly. And then even then my prices obviously were way lower. I don't think anyone ever said no to me my first year. They're like, oh, great, when can you do it? I'm like, that's suspicious. I should probably raise my prices. I haven't got a no yet all year. And so I just took the whole first season as, trial and error, see what I don't like, see the best way to get everything, so I know what to buy for this year, which I thought was perfect because a lot of people go into it and they just see what other people have and they buy it and it doesn't work for their business or for their area because every state, Rhode Island is like, I feel like it's totally different for landscaping in Rhode Island than a lot of places, just the way it all is. And so I'm actually, I think, the only person who even knew of what a ramp rack was, like that ramp rack system. And it took me forever to find. And then I found a dealer here that has one, and he said I was the first person to buy it. And they only had 4. Yeah, now they put it outside, and it's all, I'm like, and I drove by, and I was like, I know what that is. And so I got one of those. And then I also now have a 6x10 short track dump trailer, just, for the landscaping side, softscapes, stuff like that. But that was my purchase this year because last year, doing all the jobs last year, I realized, all right, what do I kind of want to roll with? So I didn't anything crazy, a lot of gates out here. They're all colonial style homes. They're all like 1700s. A lot of in the areas I'm in, they're all historic homes and really nice neighborhoods, but the gates are always small too. So I was like, well, my first mower that I'm going to purchase, I'm not going to make it be like a 42 or a 61, like something like that, or 52 and all that. I'm like, I can't go that big because then I'll be push mowing the back, and that's crazy. And so I was like, all right, let me look up. I didn't even know they had 32, 36 inches.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, perfect. So the dealers around here, it's always different everywhere. And so the main 2 dealers I definitely say in Rhode Island is Walker is definitely number 1 up here, and then Wright's pretty a close second because when I look at all the dealers, they either all have Walker and Wright, and then Hustlers, but not a lot of Toro, not a lot of Gravely. I think one dealer had Gravely, and they have Still now, the electric line. I saw that up here.
Not a lot of Exmark?
But, nope, not even one has an Exmark here.
Wow, that's crazy. I'm used to hearing that for John Deere, but not for Exmark.
Yeah, no, John Deere, forget about it. If you want a John Deere lawnmower, you got to go to Home Depot and Lowe's. You got to get one of them.
Yeah, sure enough, fake one.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, so every dealer here, mostly the top ones here, they have Wright. So I was like, I looked into Wright more, did my research there, really liked what they had going on. So I said, all right. And, the barrier to entry is pretty low compared to the rest. So I was like, all right, I'm not going to go all crazy on my first mower. So I just got, standard B 36 inch. It was brand new. So I was like, perfect. It was on sale as well. I was like, sounds good to me.
Yeah.
So I snagged that up. Snagged it up in about, I think at the end of December, I snagged that. And so once I got that, I was like, this is going to be pretty good. And then that's when I got the ramp rack for the truck. And so my mow rig setup basically is just, profitable. Anyone can drive it. If I'm sick, someone can drive it for me, If I have buddies to do it. And I was like thinking about that even down the line. I'm like, I don't really want to have big trailers because a lot of people that I know, I'm 28, and a lot of people that I know my age don't even know how to drive a trailer.
100%.
Tow a trailer in the back. And I'm like, and I'm going to let you by yourself,
Yeah.
So, and they got really expensive over the years. I think some of them around here, just like your basic, probably like 10 foot, 12 foot, they're 9, 10 grand now, 12, when 2 years ago, they're around 7, 8.
For dump trailers, you're saying?
No, for like enclosed. Yeah.
Enclosed. Okay. Enclosed.
Oh yeah. For enclosed, like over the last few years, they've gone up $4 grand for the same trailer, And so a couple of my buddies, they do landscape construction, excavation, and all that. And they got all their stuff about 2 years ago, trailers and all that. And I was like, I always ask them, how much is this when you bought it?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's
you can
insane.
sell yours right now and make money on it.
Yeah, it's insane. It's absolute lunacy that I don't have a dump trailer yet, but I haven't gotten one because it's so hard to pull the trigger because I know what so many of my friends have bought them for 2 years ago, and I'm like, I can't stomach going and paying what they are now. But it's an absolute necessity. It's really cool to hear that you already picked that up in your business if you're going to be doing landscaping.
And and so my type deal is, I want to do half. Everyone likes to do half and half. I don't want to kill myself on the maintenance side. I want to keep that in for like a basic cash flow. Maybe like, I know everyone says, 2 days, and then they end up being 5 days of maintenance, I want to do 1 to 2 days, 3 max, and then leave the rest for the softscape install, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But I'll never really get into favors, nothing like that, because I don't want to be, the same thing everyone always says, jack of all trades. Like you're not an expert at any of them, stuff like that, And so I want to keep it super small. I don't do anything really crazy. Anything that pops up, I'll I'll still do the quote form, but I'll call my buddies and all that I can refer out and then get them a price on that. And then obviously I'll just refer them over to them. I don't do any subs and anything like that, really.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get into all that. I just have my referrals that I do, who happen to also all be better known businesses. So it's just that trust factor right there. You don't want to, screw over your buddy or, some other veteran owned company. It's just like one of those things like, oh, I want to do a good job because that guy I know. You just think about how you were with your buddies back in the military. Everyone messes with you, stuff like that. So I refer out some stuff to them, and always good. But I'm really picky on who I refer to because Rhode Island is definitely, it's kind of like a gossip state. Everyone knows somebody who knows somebody who's this person, that person. It's pretty wild. Example of that is I got a call from a property to go out to just for maintenance, nothing crazy, maintenance, some sprinkling up, but they don't want anything else, just like that, just simple maintenance. The person they were using wasn't going to be up there anymore, so he referred me, and I never met him in my life, so I don't know how he even got my information, but he referred me. A referral is a referral, so I'm gonna go. She called me. I'm talking to her. I knew the last name just came about, but it's Italian, and like this is my grandfather all talking about everyone back in the day. So like I'm like, oh, my last name is Feudy, whatever, and do you know like any of those, whatever? She goes, oh yeah, I know a Dennis Feudy, and my brother's also Dennis, and my dad's Dennis. So I'm like, where do you work? And she goes, oh, I work at the hospital. I'm like, that's my dad. And so she works with my dad at the hospital.
That's crazy.
And he's not even the one who gave her the referral.
Yeah.
But it's like I was like, that's crazy. That's Rhode Island. It's just that I get a call from someone who referred me, and they work with my dad.
Yeah.
And so-and-so knows someone else, and so-and-so knows somebody else. The companies all here know each other. So it's kind of hard when people are like, oh, this company, I'm getting rid of them because of this. And I'm never one to be like, oh, yeah, we'll fix that, or we don't do that. When someone usually complains to us, to me about their prior service, I'll never like talk bad to another company company ever. Some people I definitely have seen do that. I've been around plenty of people that have done that, and I just do the head nod like you're listening to them, like, yep, I got it, yeah. But I'll never be like, oh yeah, they should show up on time and stuff like that. And just what's the reason you're looking to switch? Let them babble on, like, all right, well here's our price type deal, and this is what we do. I'll never badmouth anyone, especially here and around that word travels fast. Yeah. Takes an hour to get from the top to the bottom of the state. So it doesn't take that long for a word to travel at all. Yeah,
that's what I was about to say. I know the state's small. How long does it take to drive through the state?
Oh, yeah. So if you're driving from Mass, and then the second you hit Rhode Island, it's probably about, if it was just a clean, no traffic, just normal speed traffic going down 95, probably until you get to Connecticut is about, an hour 15.
Holy cow. So like if you really wanted to, you could really service the whole state.
Yeah, so that's another thing that I definitely had to like get out of my head from listening to other podcasts, YouTube videos, and all that. They're like, oh yeah, we're in 1 square mile of my town, and I'm like, yeah, but my state's so small that I drove down the road actually yesterday. One of the main areas I service is East Greenwich over here, and it's like a historical. It's basically a historical main street, and then everywhere else is big subdivisions. Like it's the only place that's like subdivision in Rhode Island. It's not a lot of them, but they're really nice houses. That's for all the people that make a lot of money to live down over there. I went to one of those properties, and just on one of the turns alone was 3 different landscaping crew companies, just in that subdivision. So it's definitely congested, I'd say, for sure here. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of tough to get in because especially here, people, they see you as like, oh, that's my landscaper. That's what they kind of say here. It's not just like, oh, this is the service I use. They're like, no. Like, even if the owner's never on their property again, they're like, oh, no, Jason's my landscaper. Yeah. Even though he hasn't been on a mower in 10 years anymore, Now he's running all the crews. But they just try to keep it small, like everyone knows one here. So they try to keep a more personal type deal here. So that's how you have to run your business really is, you have to run it as a business, be legit and everything, but you have to be more personal with them. Like, oh, yep, yeah, he's my landscaper. Like, oh yeah, he's my, it's kind of one of those things that are, even though the business side of it is that, you're a property, you're a client, you're just type deal, but you also have to be like more personal, you have to be thinking about that on the other end. Like, how am I looking in their eyes if I say no on to doing something or if I don't go out of the way? So you can't really just buy the book, have numbers down, be like, we do this, and this. Like if someone asks you and you're there and you can take care of it, you kind of just like, yeah, we'll take care of it for this, but like you don't make it a service that you offer out. You kind of still go over a little bit above for the clients here, just because they keep it as like you got to use my guy type deal here. It's a really Italian.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. That's wild. I can't imagine being with it. Like, you could literally service your whole state if you wanted to. How many companies do you think that are like? Is the competition still crazy? I mean, in your whole state, you could probably figure out how many companies there were, like legit companies.
Oh yeah, for sure, legit companies. I mean, I never actually looked into how many companies there are.
Yeah.
But if you look it up, I mean, so my Google.
What is the population of Rhode Island?
Oh, I don't.
Okay.
It's like 1 million. You can look that up. It's really small.
Yeah.
It's pretty small, but but I mean, it's definitely saturated with companies. You kind of think it's kind of saturated. Not a lot of people start bragging when they have 5 houses on the same road type deal, because there's always people that like to do their own anyways. Or people don't use who's in the neighborhood. They like to be able to. I picked my guy. They don't just use who the neighbor uses. So it's kind of tough to get that like back to back houses where you just ride the mower down.
Yeah.
So it's kind of annoying, but it's like a challenge to me. That's like my challenge is like, how do I conquer? What is my military strategy to conquer this neighborhood right here? I'm not going to kick anyone out, but if people see me all the time, they call me and go over, I'm going to be honest with what I do,
Yeah.
And like how we run our show here and prices. And I mean, I definitely am not on the cheaper side. I'm still competitive with prices. I'm definitely not the person who's junk in the trunk and fucking they're doing all the undercutting like that. I'll never undercut for a property. If they're like, oh, we get this property for $65 a cut, I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'll do it for $60.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be like, oh, well, same price we actually offer for this square footage or for this property for the amount of edging there is and all that. If it's a lot of edging, it goes into that. I'm not gonna just undercut because if they're looking for price only, I don't want them.
Yeah.
And I've done that from day one, which is actually people thought I was crazy. They're like, they're like, oh, I sent you my aunt or something. And she said you weren't going to take her on. Well, I thought you were looking for people. And I'm like, yeah, I'm looking for clients, but I mean, I want to have a specific client that I want to be servicing. I'm not going to be servicing somebody just to go for the mo. If they're just looking for price, I'm not the guy. If they want quality and they want to actually upgrade their property and enhance their the health of their property and gardens and all that, that's who I want to be servicing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be going to the guy who's just maintenance. I'm like, no, I want you to be doing maintenance. I want you to have irrigation. I want you to, be at least on a fertilizer program. You do mulch, every 2 years, 3 years, maybe, hopefully. You want plants. You want everything looking good. You want perennials. You want those seasonal things. You want all the cleanups. You don't want to let it get ahead of you. And the people that call me and I pull up to those properties that are like that, and then when I ask if they want, me to go and clean out all the beds and all that, and they say, no, just the maintenance, then I kind of like, maybe this isn't going to be the right fit. And that's what I just tell them, really. I don't overcharge anything like that. I say, you're just not going to be right fit for our service. And most of the time, that's fine. But some of the older crowd, they flip out on you. They're like, you're just in it for the money.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be a billionaire doing this.
Yeah,
I'm like, it is a business. I mean, and so it's mostly you get the people around here that they're retired landscaper that was doing it out of the back of their truck when they were already retired. So they're cutting for $20, $25. And then you give them a real price. And you show up and they think that's what it's going to be again because you answered the call and went because you're new. And a lot of people, they're to capacity, actually. A lot of the big companies they're not taking anyone on. So every time I get a call, they're like, hey, I'm just checking to see if you're actually taking clients. And I was like, yeah. And they're like, that's great. So I assume they call people unless I'm not the first one that somehow pops up. Thanks, my Google business page. But, and they're surprised when you just answer and you show up when you're going to show up. And that you actually have availability. So in my eyes, all those rigs I always see going down the road, they're to capacity, and there's one rain day, they're working Saturday, Sunday. And I never want to be that. I don't want to get to the point where I have employees and I'm pushing them, Saturday, Sunday all the time. I kind of just want to be like a nice, fun place to work. Everyone makes money. So that's what I'm hoping to get to. Probably in about a year or two, I'll be able to bring on 2 more guys. But just by looking at the numbers, just by this year's estimates and all that. But I'm all set up, got everyone, CPA, tax advisor, business advisor, I got not connections, but a lot of people that are just helping me out that they do that for their business. And once, they said, once you start getting on your feet and start making the money, then we'll start giving you they'll start charging you,
Yeah.
But I'll back pay them for sure. They don't know that yet, but I'll back pay them because it's their business. I'm not gonna I can't be just taking their time. It's valuable to them, my especially for my taxes and all that this year. And he just set everything up. He set everything up, my LLC, everything, filed my EIN, all that, and just like, you're good. And I'm like, how much I owe you? No, you're good. And I'm like, all right. And then I wrote it looked it all up, called everyone else, wrote it on a sticky note, and it's right on my wall. It's like, hey, Len, such and such money, by the end of this year. And then like, same when he filed my taxes this year, I got it all back. He saved me a lot of money. I already had, money, and I had a lot of money saved in my tax savings, and then I didn't have to spend a dime of it. So that was good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Use that. Yeah, I used that towards the dump trailer, so that was really good. But
that's crazy, man.
Definitely want to get just want to be profitable. I don't want to be how big I can get. A lot of people out here, they want to get big. I just want to be small crew, and everyone gets to go home at a reasonable time, reasonable hour. Everyone's gonna have families, and I just want to have a small crew, profitable. I can be able to step away, trust the people that are going out there with the equipment and all that. Know they're going to get the job done, and then come back and everyone's happy. And then at the end of the month, be like, here's the bonuses, boys,
Mm-hmm.
And so everyone wants to stick around. I mean, I've worked for a couple, when I came back, I worked for a couple companies, and then one was like more towards that way was, we're like a team here, everyone has their role, but, no one's ever bigger than the next person. But like, obviously you have like the hierarchy, here it is how it is, yada, yada, yada. And then, but everyone just goes to work. They do what they got to do their job, and then get a reasonable pay for it. Yeah, I don't want the guy working for me being like, man, I could be making more somewhere else, or like stuff like that. It's just the company culture. I want to be, fun, but like, oh, we're doing some mowing today, but tomorrow we're doing this cool soft skate design. Can't wait for that. And then, it's going to be a nice bonus at the end when we finish the project, get paid, and then get that nice little bonus. So, I mean, I'm pricing stuff out now that if I already had a crew, at least if I already have one guy, I price that out that way. So I kind of price out my hourly where, it's if I had a guy working, but that guy's me right now. But then also my owner's salary as well goes into my overhead too. So if I can easily just transition to hire somebody. I'm not pricing everything out to where now if I hire somebody, I'm losing money.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah,
sure,
no, you got to set that up early. You got to put that in the beginning. I mean, so how long do you think you're going to stay solo this year?
Honestly, it probably just the way it's working out right now. I mean, honestly, I'll probably be solo this whole year.
Okay.
With some part-time help, They'll come in. I'll pay them for the day. I plan on doing that definitely for some other jobs. But I already have people calling me. They're like, oh yeah, let me know if you need help. I'll definitely come help for the day too. Working on some stuff. And so we'll definitely never be, needing help and be like, there's no one out there. But it's definitely. But the market, like the workforce everywhere, everyone can't find anyone for a job. So that's why immediately before I even started, I was like, I can't get to where I need like 5-10 man crew to be running efficiently and profitable, because I know people are lazy and they're only getting lazier.
Yep.
I don't see a lot more people getting out there in this kind of line of work. Everywhere I go for dealers and all that, they go, oh man, give it a couple of years, you're going to be killing it, because they've been dealers for years. And all the companies they know, they're all retiring, and they have no one to give the company to because they don't want to do it. Their sons don't want to do it, all that stuff. And so they just close shop, and then all those clients, where are they going to go, And there's not a lot of people coming up. As many as companies that are closing or retiring, there's not as many coming in to the game. So definitely that supply the demand is pretty high here, for sure. I mean, there could probably be a lot more people starting up, but hopefully not,
Yeah.
And they can start up after I get my routes filled in,
Yeah, there you go. How long have you been out of the military then? 2 years?
No.
Oh, the National Guard, I mean.
I got out of them, a while again. Well, so I was in the Marines from 2013 to 2017.
Okay.
An active duty, yep. So I was stationed in Hawaii and all that. And then I came home from 2017 to 2020. I worked part-time, and then I also did real estate.
Yep.
Yep, and then in 2020, in February, I joined the National Guard, and then I got out in this February 2023. I did a 3-year contract with them.
Okay.
Yeah, which kind of worked out again perfectly because
springtime.
Right when I got out in February, right now in April, they're actually that unit's deploying right now in a couple weeks. Actually, they're going to Kosovo for a NATO mission there.
Oh wow!
So my timing of joining and getting out couldn't be any better.
Yeah. Tell me about Hawaii. So I feel like did you like get a choice in getting stationed there? Did you like, what is that, luck of the draw? I mean, what did that look like?
Definitely luck of the draw. So I mean, the Marine Corps, it's definitely, it's the thing is like the needs of the Marine Corps. That's what everyone says. Like you're filling the needs of the Marine Corps, stuff like that. It's totally different than any other branch. You go in there, it's going to be different. It's going to be hardcore. It's going to be, like everyone's one. You do it for like the team type mentality. And being in the Army side of the National Guard, seeing how that works,
Yeah.
I can now talk about it. I know, like, I know how it works. It totally works. I always tell people when they say what branch or somebody joining, I'm like, well, it depends on why you join. If you're joining just for a certain type of job skill, stuff like that, you want to go to what branch has that job, but it actually is they use it a lot. So they can go to the Air Force, Army, but you know what you're doing there. That me, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was like, well, I'm always interested in the military. So I just looked up like, hey, which military has like, these really good units, infantry, all that stuff like that, do some cool stuff. And I was like, everything I looked into and all that was the Marines. So I was like, all right, seems way more challenging than the rest just for the barrier to entry. So I was like, I'll just go with that. And then, so I, 3 months in Parris Island, South Carolina, I went.
Oh, I've heard that's terrible.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's bad. But the sand fleas and all that, you're in a swampland, you can't see nothing for miles. It's just barren. You're definitely secluded out there.
Did y'all have like snakes? We run around snakes and stuff?
There's snakes, alligators, brown recruits, black widows, all that. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But and then I was in the one barracks that didn't get renovated, and it was the same barracks from like 1970, 1965, like Vietnam style buildings like that. So I got the cool old school one, cool old school effect.
It's
still there now. It's still been done. Yeah. Oh, definitely for sure. But
it wasn't cool in the moment though.
No, definitely not. No. For sure it was not. But made it through that. I actually got I got meritoriously promoted in boot camp. So I just got meritorious promoted. You just get promoted before you're kind of was supposed to be. Is what that really means.
Yeah.
Because I like held a certain job there that was like out of 3. So like you had more responsibility like that. They put more responsibility on you, and you just flourished through boot camp. So I got promoted there, which kind of like boosted my career there in the military. So that was perfect. And then I was infantry, so you go to your infantry school. And so I went to North Carolina, Camp Geiger's what it's called. And that's in North Carolina, which I went in the winter time. Yeah, I went there in January, February to March. I think it's in February to April, basically. I remember the last week was my birthday. So my birthday is April 4th. So it was like, I remember that was the last week there. But then that's 2 months. It's 1 month.
Your birthday is April 4th? Like, just like last week?
Yeah, my birthday is April. Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's crazy. My brother's birthday is April 4th. That's insane.
No way.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I just met a girl the other day that her birthday was April 4th. So
wow.
Same week, But then there's 2 months there. And, the first month is just basic infantry school, infantry stuff. Everyone does it. And then, but in the beginning, when you go there, they look at your test scores before you join the military, stuff like that. And so they go there, you give them your name, they look at your test records, and then they're like, they just told me like, yeah, you're going to weapons platoon, 3rd floor. I'm like, all right, cool. Didn't know what it meant. I just went there, And then what that was, you're gonna be infantry, but then you're also gonna specialize in a weapon system as well. Not just gonna be like in the lines, what it's called. Like you're not gonna be just like a rifleman. You're gonna be in the infantry, but you're gonna be specialized in like one of these 3 weapons. You got machine guns, anti-tank, and then like assaultman, which is gone now. They got rid of that, and then mortarman, which I did. And so the first month is just basic infantry school stuff. This is how the tactics out in the field, dig hole, defensive stuff like that, camouflage, all that stuff, all the fun stuff. I was like, oh, finally we're doing it, And then throughout that time, the instructors, they have one from each weapon system there. And they go, all right. And they're all just trying to like kind of persuade you which one's like, oh, you should join us. Like that type deal. Like, oh, you want to be a machine gunner. Oh, you want to be this. And so the mortarman guy came up. He's like, yeah, we get to blow stuff up from a distance. This is stuff like this. Hang around, play cards, all that, and then drop some rounds and 3,000 meters away, 6,000 meters away, blow some stuff up over the radio, and then back to playing cards. I'm like, that sounds great, man.
Yeah, that's pretty safe.
So I went with that. Yeah, so I went with that, not knowing how it would be after. But hold on, remember that part where we said that, and then so I went with that. Did that for the 2nd month. It's called the weapon split. After that, everyone splits and goes their own way, and then you do that for a while. And then after that, you get basically on a wall, they just put your name down where you're going. And for infantry, you have 3 places. You have North Carolina, California, or Hawaii.
Mm.
And so I was like, all right. I didn't want to go to North Carolina because I was already there for the 2 months. Didn't really like it. I was like, it's still on the East Coast for me. So I was like, well, I wanted like, West Coast would be cool. So California. I was like, I don't want to go to Hawaii. That's too far. And then as I say that, I go to my name and it says Hawaii. And I'm like, yeah, baby. Like start flipping out. And like, I guess I'm going Hawaii.
Yeah.
So you definitely don't have a say. It's needs of the Marine Corps. It's all it is. They needed people and they just went down the line. I went with, I think, 10 people to Hawaii, all different units there. Yeah. So
what
then I showed up there. Wahoo.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's in Kaneohe Bay.
Okay.
K-Bay.
Yeah.
It's on the windward side of the island, so it's on the side towards the U.S. The opposite side of the island is Pearl Harbor, the Navy base there, Hickam, and then the Army base over there in Schofield as well.
Yeah.
So we were I got lucky there where our base was on the retirement side is what I call it. You go there, it's all mansions on the beach and all that. You go out the back gate, it's like a nice beach town. It's low-key, and it's Kailua Beach is, you can walk out my back gate and you're on Kailua Beach. It's like top 5 beaches in the world. Like you look it up.
Wow.
And it's just perfect, beautiful, love it. And I did not take advantage of that at all. I think I did not go to the beach as much as you think that anyone would be. And I'm kind of butthurt about that, but I definitely enjoyed it. As I was about to leave the last couple months, I was like, I got to keep going to the beach and get these days in.
Yeah, man.
But it was definitely a treat. Snorkeling, everything you can think of.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's really cool that you got to go out there. Well, man, thank you for your service. First off, that's awesome that you decided to take that upon yourself, because that's something you have to have a special call for, I believe. I've never felt that call, but I really do appreciate each and every one of you that have served to protect us. So that means a lot. Tell you what, got a hard stop coming up in about 5 minutes. I want to hit really quickly on what are your goals for this season. So this is your first year in the landscape business full time. You had some stuff last year, but now it's very evident you're going full force. This is going to be your career for the next little while. What are some things what are some advice or things you would give and share that you're going to be doing to help yourself grow this season that maybe somebody else out there in similar situations could put to use?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, definitely, I got some goals on the board over there. You can see since you're on Zoom, you can see it, but they can't. But I definitely got the vision board going, But I mean, mainly is just trying to figure out where you want to be in your area, what areas you want to service, and kind of try to just straight on attack, just full force offense there, and just be like, this is where I want to be. So once you figure that out, you got to hit the marketing. You got to, you definitely have to have a Google business page. I have that right now, but my goal is to, get my reviews up there. Definitely everyone I service, I send a link right there. So that's the goal. I mean, follow up on all my services there to get them to get a review going, because that's huge. And then definitely have a more professional website put up right now. So mine's it's still in the making right now. It should be up. It's a little late. That's on me. But definitely want to be able to be out there. I want to be out there to be easily found and just look pretty professional and high quality. So definitely just my marketing and getting my service area down for sure for maintenance. I mean, for the softscape part, we'll probably go really anywhere in the state because it is pretty small.
Yeah, literally. If you make over $500-600, it's worth the drive sometimes.
Yeah, my hub, where I am is in the middle of the state, so nothing really is more than 40 minutes away at all.
Oh, that's crazy, dude. That's like a huge blessing, I feel like.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And it's like, I have to get that out of my head. Like, that's not far. I know for other people where they are in their state, like, yeah, that's big. But, like, from where I am to anywhere really is 35 minutes, and I'll take it. And, like, yep, I'll meet you there, and we'll get going and get cracking, because it's more the maintenance side. I got to be cautious on that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be driving from one property 30 minutes to the other one. That's where I want to be. But on the softscape side, definitely, the state is mine.
You can go do a $1,200 mulch install and drive 30 minutes. That's not too bad.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. And there's a lot of landscape supply. There's a lot of landscape supply companies in regionally as well. So I don't have to go to one and drive it down. I can go to another one and pick it up. It's 10 minutes from all my places.
Oh, that's nothing fantastic. Crazy. Yeah, so you're not like you're not locked in one place. You can get stuff from multiple different areas.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And everyone's reliable. All those companies are pretty reliable and have some of the same stuff. So, but I mean, definitely, just want to get my routes figured out where I want to be mostly, and then just full on attack that. Get my 2 to 3 days filled of what I can do.
Yeah.
By the end of the season, really. and then just hone in on what I want to offer for the stalkscape side. I have a walkway install coming up, but it's nothing crazy. It's not pavers. It's just crushed stone with some stepping stones there.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm doing 2 of them. So, I mean, by myself. So, I mean, for me, that's going to be a nice one to do. And then after that, I'm redoing all the beds and then installing some plants and mulch. So that'll be my first big stalkscape job right there. But once I finish that, it's like, how do I feel about it? Like, oh, I'm confident in that and stuff like that. But I just want to be able to offer quality work that I'm confident on getting done. I don't want to be doing estimates on something I'm like kind of iffy on, because then, you know, the work's going to show that. Like, you're kind of iffy on this. I want to be like, yeah, we can bang that out and it's going to be beautiful. So my goal is to just be more confident in the services that I provide for sure. And then I don't really have any equipment goals that much, really.
Yeah, it sounds like you're set up for success at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I just got to pick up a couple stuff that's already in the works, you know, just picking up some cart mate for the 36 just to make the mulch instantly.
Yeah.
We actually have, you know, mulch mate and all that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I have a cart mate.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, nice. Yeah. So we have a dealer out here that actually has a mulch mate attached to a dump body. And so they made their own rig, but you can rent it as well. So it's a pretty good price.
Oh, that's sick.
So if you have a big job and you can't really get a delivery there, and you can just rent that for the day. And the first time, right when he posted that, I instantly DM'd him, like, what's the prices for the day? So, but, you know, I mean, probably a goal would just be I have to get, like, you know, 2,500 or 250 probably by the end of the year. Yeah. Just so you know, that'd be the hardcore. Right now I just have a 2019 F-50. But just probably getting the second truck, definitely. Yeah. Just to be able with a dump body or something like that, just to be more references. But I mean, my maintenance, I'm just gonna be running. I don't want to be running trailers. I want to be running either the Isuzu landscape beds or ramp rack. Yeah,
so. Dude. I understand that totally. I don't ever want to pull a trailer for a maintenance route ever again. So that's we have the box truck.
I saw the video. Yep, I saw the video on YouTube with Brian.
Yeah. No, I will.
Right there.
Yeah, we have no intentions to ever go back to a trailer for mowing. So that's awesome, man.
No way.
Yeah. Now I'm glad you're figuring that out early on, so that if you do grow and scale, then you're going to have easy access for other drivers and things like that.
Exactly. I just want to be able to people can come in. It's easy transition in. You know, obviously, you know, a couple weeks just so they know how to operate on a property. But I don't want to have to be teaching people to back up in tight corners or especially around the roads are really, really. They're about a car and a half wide.
Wow.
The side road. So they're not the nice subdivision. You know, you can fit three trailers in a row over there. And a lot of work's always being done, so it's definitely tough.
Yeah.
So definitely be a nice.
100%, dude. Well, that's awesome. Well, I appreciate your time this afternoon. Those are some really cool stories. I think that business is going to flourish this year. I think there's some good advice in there for some guys starting out, and really just cool marine story. That's cool that you got to be in Hawaii and learned and grew a lot. It sounds like in those years. So, where can everybody find you if they do want to connect with you? Maybe ask you some more questions about your plans for this season or whatever you got moving forward.
Yeah, so I mean, I got lucky. Everything's the same, you know. You can find me on Instagram, and I have, you know, just my YouTube. I do some shorts up there. It's gonna be pretty. I'm not gonna do pretty big anything on YouTube. Just post some shorts, you know, just like mowing, edging, stuff like that. Just some quick things like that. But on YouTube, you can find me, you know, Frontline Lawn Services. Frontline's one word, and then on Instagram, same thing at Frontline Lawn Services.
That's awesome.
So that's the easy way. I mean, anyone can DM me. I'll help anyone, you know.
Yeah, dude, that's fantastic. Well, thanks for kind of joining in the industry. That's cool that you kind of coming in a fresh new blood, I guess you could say. So welcome to the jungle. You gotta.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I'm full in. You know, everything. I got the shirts came in the other week. Yeah, you know, I'm full going. You know,
I love it.
I definitely do all the research. Doing it the right way, so
I love it, dude. That's awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much for listening. Ryan, thanks for coming on and joining with us today. I think that you brought a lot of value to the show, and we're looking forward to what you get to see for the rest of the season.
Oh yeah, no, thanks for having me, and I can't wait to catch up at the end of the season and see how it went.
100%, man. Hopefully, you can make it down to Equip or something like that, one of the live events, and get to.
Oh, that's already booked. That's booked already. Hotels and everything's all slated. I got
awesome, dude.
The time is blocked out. I was late to it last year, couldn't go. So, but definitely not missing out on that.
Awesome, man. Well, look forward to seeing you in Louisville, Kentucky then. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning into the show today. It means a lot that you listened and got to hang out with us here on Wednesday's show. If you would leave us a big 5-star rating and review, those continue to help boost us out there so we can continue to grow the community one relationship at a time. But without any further ado, that is going to wrap this episode up, and we look forward to catching up with everybody here on the next one.
Thanks for tuning in to the Growing Green podcast. It is an honor to have you listening, and we hope you receive valuable advice to help take your business to the next level. Don't forget to follow the podcast so you'll be notified when our next episode drops.